welcome to another video episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and sometimes crochet and books and TV and movies and life and general chatty things that I want to share with you. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I really hope that you enjoy it. So please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, and let's enjoy a lovely visit. So today is July 5th, a Monday. It was a holiday weekend. Because July 4th is Independence Day in the United States, and the heat wave passed, so this week was so much more comfortable and just more mild summery temperatures, which is what we're used to here in the Pacific Northwest. And yeah. So it was a nice holiday weekend, and yesterday there were a lot of firecrackers going off at night, which was a little bit loud, but not too bad. And I just kind of relaxed. I didn't do anything special. I'm still, during that heat wave last weekend, my sleep schedule and my routines did kind of shift a little bit, just to take advantage of the coolest hours. So now I'm still trying to get my sleep schedule and my routines a little bit back to the normal time. Yeah, still trying to adjust back, but doing all right. I had a really good sleep last night, probably the best sleep I've had all week, so I'm glad for that. And I am enjoying some cold brew herbal tea. This one today is the chamomile, vanilla, and manuka honey by Puka. And yeah, it's really refreshing and light. And great. If you were in a hot zone or you are having a heat wave right now where you are, I hope you're staying hydrated and doing well and are able to get a little more comfortable whatever way you can. Yeah. So I am still working on the yoke. I'm trying to keep the yarn from getting tangled. Still working on the yoke of my Etta summer tea top. Yeah, it's basically a t-shirt, kind of a deal, and a little bit of lace at the yoke, and I'm almost finished with the yoke. This is very near the end. Soon I will split the sleeves off and start working down the body, and the body will just be all stockinette. And this is a summer yarn. It is Summer Sesame by Barocco. This is what's left so far of the first 100-gram ball. And yeah, it is 47% cotton and 44% acrylic and 9% nylon. So it is very breathable because of the cotton and light and good for summer wearing. And I am enjoying the pattern very much. It's just a very simple lace here at the top. And the colors are nice. It comes in several different colorways, this Summer Sesame yarn, and this is the colorway that was my favorite when I went to that yarn store a couple weeks ago. And yay! So I wonder if you were crafting, I wonder what you're working on, and please feel free to talk about your crafts down in the comments underneath, or what you're reading, or if you've watched any really great movies or TV series, what you're enjoying right now. I would love to chat with you about all of those things in the comments. And anything else, any chatty things you'd like to chat about, or questions. You can ask a question in the comments. Yeah. So you are welcome to do all of those things. And let's get to the books. I am progressing on The Tiger Flew by Larissa Lai. This is the physical book that I have right now from my library. And I, so far, am continuing to enjoy it. It is really strange, and there are a lot of things that are not explained. It does have a really kind of just go for the ride, kind of weird atmosphere to it. It is about a pandemic. That's part of it. There is this tiger flu, which it especially targets men, and so it is quite deadly for men. It is not so deadly for women, and a lot of the men have died or are very sick. And there is also this outcast group of women who were genetically engineered. They were created by scientists, and some of them have the power to just spontaneously clone, or they call it fruiting, and they give birth, but it's to a clone, like a genetic clone. And actually it's usually multiples, I've learned so far. So they talk about it like litters, and they call the process fruiting. And those are the doublers. And yeah, so there are also within these engineered women are, some of them are what they call starfish, and they can regrow parts of their body. So if you do a surgery and take out an organ, or if you cut off a hand or a limb, or take away any part of their body, it will regrow and regenerate. And they use this to keep other people in their community like alive for longer if they need an organ. It's hard to explain. There's a lot going on. And I think right now I'm at a turning point. But yeah, it's very, very kind of psychedelic and strange and dreamlike. And I think I'll take a drink of tea. So that is the physical book that I'm reading right now. I did finish one book. I finished Clara and the Sun, which I had digitally from my library. And this is by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is his newest novel. It was released this year, so it is a 2021 current release, and there were mixed receptions and reviews that I've seen and read, so I wasn't sure how I would enjoy it. Wasn't sure what side I would come down on. But in the end, I just really loved it. I love his writing style, and I love the way that he tells stories. And I loved the themes and the questions that he explores. So I did really love this book. Clara and the Sun is about an AI android created to be a companion for a child. They're called artificial friends, and that's what Clara is. And Clara does have a very special relationship to the sun. She is solar powered, so the sunlight to her is nourishment and life, and it gives her a kind of faith or special belief in the sun that it does feel kind of religious, and I think that's on purpose. But we explore this nearish future world. It's not specific what time or what year, but it is a futuristic world, and we learn about society and what's going on in these times through Clara's observations, through her experiences, and the people that are close to Clara. Yeah, it's just, it's a really, his stories are slow. There's not, usually much plot, and that is true here as well. There's not a lot of plot. It really focuses on the characters and Clara's observations and her as a character, but also the characters around her that are close to her are well developed, and she learns about humanity, she learns about emotions and tries to understand them, and she does, I believe, feel emotions to a point. But yeah, and there's a lot of things she doesn't know, so she's always learning, and we learn along with her. And so things are slowly revealed. And there are a lot of larger social questions brought up, but they aren't really developed very well. We learn about, we observe and see some very interesting things that might point to issues in the larger society and feel kind of dystopian, but those are not delved into. They're just kind of noted and left for Clara might think about them for a while, or people might have a comment about them, but they're not fully developed. And I think that's one thing that frustrated some readers and why it didn't work for that group of readers. And some people did not respond well to the faith aspect in Clara's kind of unquestioning and kind of unswerving belief in the sun. And I can see why this would not be universally enjoyed, or I definitely see what the people who did not like it, those are valid things. But I did love it. And I also started a couple of new books. I started Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Al Cosimano. This is a kind of lighthearted thriller, dark comedy, although not very dark. I mean, there is murder and things happening, but it's not like very dark in tone. But it's a mystery thriller comedy kind of situation. Finlay is a writer who is really, really struggling. She's behind in her deadline for her novel that she has contracted. Her agent is just breathing down her neck. She's got a lot of financial problems. She has a meeting, and she's a single mom, recently divorced, and she has a meeting in a Panera with her agent to talk about the current state of her draft of her novel, and somebody overhears their conversation and gets the wrong idea about her thriller plot, because she writes romantic thrillers or romantic suspense. And so she misunderstands what they're talking about, and she after they're done, she approaches Finley and asks Finley to kill her husband and offers her $50,000 because she believes she's a hired assassin. And it goes from there. And Finley's like, no, you don't understand. And she's like, no, I need you to do it. Just do it. And she's like, gone. And Finley's like, what am I gonna do? And she really, really, really desperately needs the money. And she's like, well, anyway, so things progress from there, and unintended things happen, and her husband does end up dead, and things get really, really complicated and strange and funny from there. Yeah. So I am enjoying it. There's a really great friendship that Finley develops. And I really like the female friendship that's described here. And yeah, it's fun and kind of a romp of a thriller. I also started Exit Strategy, which is number 4 in the Murderbot Diaries series by Martha Wells. This is a novella. So far, there's only one full-length novel in the series. And I believe it's number 5 that is the novel. So it's a quick audio listen, and I really enjoy this series so much. Things are really progressing from novella to novella, and we are getting to touch base with some of the characters from the first novella. So finding out what's going on with them, and it's just really, really good. I really like this series, and highly recommend it for anyone that enjoys AI stories, because this is another AI. Murderbot is kind of a cyborg AI. She has some like genetically engineered organic parts, and she's also mechanical and an AI brain. So if you enjoy those kind of characters, and if you enjoy just like good space opera, like together, the whole story, it is kind of a space opera-y kind of a story in the universe. And there's action, there's snarky humor. So if those things sound good to you, I highly, highly recommend this series. Yeah. And I believe that's everything I want to talk about today. Yeah. So, take care, and I hope that you are enjoying all of your books that you're reading, and if you're crafting, I hope that your projects are coming along really well and becoming exactly what you envision them to be. And talk to you next time. Bye bye.